a prince among men. Always coming way too far. He's a prince among men. He's always right, cause he knows what's what. Winning is his game, he's always said. He's the best, he's the prince, and he's got the lot. And he hasn't let it go to his head. He's a winner, he's a star. He's a prince among men.
Morning, Bev.
Beverly.
I'm feeling really great today, as usual. Bursting with ideas. How about you? Never mind, only joking. So, how was your weekend, then?
Well, it was very nice, thank you. It was a disaster. I really enjoyed it.
Hey?
A training exercise for the St. John's Ambulance Brigade. A multiple pile-up involving an oil tanker and the Wilmslow Ladies Guild. I had 2 simulated deaths and 24 serious injuries. It was really good fun.
Oh, well, each to his own. Have you got a cold, Sonia? Well, stop sniffing, then. Sonia.
Morning, all. Ta-da! The hunter returns from the hill.
I don't know, 2 days off, and he waltzes in here at this time of the morning with a couple of dodgy birds.
This brace is just a small part of the bag. Beverly, can you do anything with these?
I'm sorry, Mr. Fitzherbert. I think it's too late. They're dead.
No, they're for you. You should hang them.
Isn't that overkill? She's told you they're dead.
You know, Johnny Gascoigne's estate is magical at this time of year.
Is it really? Well, lucky Mr. Gascoigne.
Lucky Lord Gascoigne. Yep, I've had a marvellous time. Beautiful countryside, amusing chums, plenty to kill. You know, we must have wiped out most of the pheasants in Shropshire. And most amusingly, Shagger shot a beater.
What?
Shagger Wallace shot a beater. Fella bends down, presents a target, Shagger can't resist. Only winged him, but by golly, you should have seen him run.
So, this is how the upper classes amuse themselves, is it?
Most weekends, yeah.
You lot, you're pathetic.
You're just envious of people like Johnny Gascoigne. Blue-blooded, living on an estate.
Don't be daft. I grew up on an estate. The Keir Council estate. Anyway, I could buy a place like his if I wanted to.
Yes, but you couldn't buy his breeding.
Yeah, well, who'd want to do that? People like that don't have breeding. They've got inbreeding. That's why most of them have got no chins. Your chums are just a bunch of overprivileged parasites. I tell you, you'd have to pay me to spend time with them.
Yes, well, it does pay you to spend time with them. Or rather, it pays you for me to spend time with them. Last night, just after dinner, when the ladies had retired, Shagger came up with a red-hot tip.
Oh, for God's sake.
The government intends to give tax concessions to the leisure industry. There's going to be a boom.
Well, there you go. I've got a nose for these things. Yesterday, while you were poncing about with Lord Snooty and his pals, I was working. I've had this idea for some time. Theme parks. You know the sort of thing. A few fairground rides, a takeaway tandoori, and you call it the last days of the Raj. Or, don't cut the grass for a while, dress a few blokes up as cavemen, and you call it...
The land that time forgot.
No, that's Stoke-on-Trent. You call it Bronze Age Britain.
Actually, now might be a good time to increase our property portfolio. We need to offload some of the money that came out of Hong Kong.
Is there enough to buy a theme park?
There's enough to buy Hyde Park, Green Park, and the Peak District National Park, if that's what you fancy.
Right. All we need to do is find the right place and the right theme.
Come on, Sonia. What is it? What's the matter?
It's me and Kevin. We've split up. It's all off.
Oh, dear. What happened?
We had a row about the music in the church. I want the wedding march, and he wants Iron Maiden.
That would be most unseemly, entirely inappropriate.
That's what I said. But Kevin said at his Uncle Billy's funeral, they had a whiter shade of pale. He says you can have anything you want. Anyway, it led to a real shouting match. He said some very hurtful things.
I'm sure you'll sort it all out. Time's a great healer.
I hope so, because I need him.
Of course you do. We all need someone.
No, I need him in his whatsits. And that's when he walked out on Well, crawled, actually.
What's wrong with her?
She's distressed. It's a young man. The wedding's off.
No, is that all?
What am I going to do, Gary?
Phone the caterers, see if you can get your deposit back.
No! About Kevin? What if he finds another woman?
Anya, I'm glad you've not lost your sense of humour. What woman in her right mind will go out with Kevin?
Sonia's been going out with Kevin for 8 years.
Exactly, he's never going to find another one like her, is he?
Thank you, Gary. I hope you're right.
Hey, I'm always right.
This is a fascinating research paper I'm translating. It's very good. It's all about memory.
Great.
This part is about one's earliest memories. What's the first thing you remember?
Hey?
What is the first thing you remember?
Right. I don't know. I've forgotten.
Oh, come on, seriously.
I remember when I was at nursery school, right? I was doing this painting. Self-portrait, actually. And I got a prize.
They gave you a prize. How lovely.
Didn't exactly give me one, but I got one out of the teacher's desk.
You stole it?
No. I just had to get it myself. I won it all right. I mean, it was a painting of me. Obviously, it was the best.
There's one extraordinary case history where the patient has memories not only of being a baby, but of life in the womb. Remarkably, he can remember his own conception, his preconception, even his sperm.
You can remember what?
His sperm.
So, I can remember mine. Everybody had one in the 70s. Used to spend a fortune on me, still do.
Not perm. Sperm.
Hey, Liesl, do you mind? You're not in Germany now, you know. It's amazing, this. State of the art.
What is it?
Can do everything. You're talking about memory, okay? This has got memory. On a microchip. And there's not just one chip in here, it's got a whole bag of chips. It cost me 1,200 big ones.
You paid £1,200 for a bag of chips?
It's me personalised cyber speeder. More computing power in here than there is in Cape Canaveral, and I can put it in my pocket. I can surf the internet if I plug it into the mobile, communicate with anyone. I can do anything with this.
What are you doing with it now?
I've got a bit of meat stuck between my teeth. That's bad. So, there are gazelles, giraffes, camels, okapi, akiosk. What's an akiosk?
No, a kiosk. It's where they sell ice cream.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. It says here you got a pair of lions. I've not seen any lions.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. No, the golden lion tamarin. Now, they've been trying to breed them here, but without much success. Now, they're over there.
Hey, pal. I think you'll find that's a monkey. Lions are much bigger.
Yes, you could be right, Mr. Prince.
Hey, I'm always right. Okay, a zoo's go. It's not much. It's got a bit of potential, though. I'll take it. Vincy, give us a lager, mate.
You'll have to wait. You can see I'm busy, can't you?
What's this?
It's a fundraising event. Replica kit. It's all the rage now. All the big clubs are doing it, so I'm doing it. I'm selling Fernie Heath replica kit. Well, not replica kit, original kit, second-hand.
But, it's all ripped and tatty.
Well, it'll probably add to the value and make them authentic. I'm not throwing them out. Waste not, what not. That's my motto.
It's like a jumble sale. I'd stick him in the bin if I were you.
Well, you would, because you got more money than sense.
Yeah? Well, I've got enough sense not to buy one of these shirts, and you'll not find anyone else mug enough to buy one. Anyway, I've done enough shopping for one day, me.
Well, what have you bought?
A zoo.
What?
I've bought a zoo.
Yes, you probably haven't all. Most people would be happy with a cat or a dog, but not you. You have to go and buy the whole flaming menagerie.
Well, I can't help if I'm full of brilliant ideas.
I've been reading about you in one of them coaching manuals.
Oh, yeah? What does it say? Gary Prince, the most brilliant footballer this country's ever produced.
No, not you. I don't mean you. I mean your type. Psychological profiles, it's called. It's got you down to a T.
Oh, yeah? What am I, the inspirational leader, the team motivator, the creative genius?
No, you're what they call the big-headed bugger. You're always like that, a show-off. Every season you played for us, you had to score more goals than anyone else.
That is the general idea, Vince.
You know what I mean. And you have to go breaking all the records, don't you?
And there's something wrong with that, is there?
In your case, yes. You're like a kid. Look at me, showing off. Trevor Ketley never felt the need to break any records.
Trevor Ketley couldn't break any records.
He was the best captain this club has ever had. When he was in charge, that changing room was immaculate. After every match, everybody had to take their boots off and leave them outside. The lads always respected Trevor.
They thought he was a complete and utter nerd. After he lost us the Earlham Rovers match, they got him in the changing room and gave him a right good kicking.
Well, that's just men's rough humour. Anyway, they didn't hurt him, because all the boots were outside.
I should have been the captain of this club, you know.
Not in a million years, not with your character defects.
What?
I mean this in the nicest possible way, but you're not a man to be trusted.
Hey?
Certainly not with any responsibility.
Vince, do you mind? Nobody else talks to me like you do.
That's because you surround yourself with yes-men, flatterers. With me, you get the truth. When I speak like an orifice.
Oracle. You mean an oracle?
I know what I mean. I mean an orifice.
Yeah, OK. You speak out to one, so you probably speak like one.
Are you going to pay for that drink?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Why don't you buy a replica shirt?
OK, Vince.
Thanks. I knew I'd find someone mug enough to buy one.
The course of true love never did run smooth, Sonia.
I'm not sure I do love him anymore.
All relationships have their ups and downs, you know.
Do you and Christopher have ups and downs?
No, not anymore. I'm very lucky that way. Our marriage is rock solid, despite what happened in Bletchley.
Why? What happened in Bletchley?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why? What have you heard?
Nothing.
Good. I'm not saying Christopher hasn't been tempted. He has. Of course he has. He may well have been tempted in Bletchley. But he's never been unfaithful.
I've never been unfaithful to Kevin.
You've probably never been tempted either.
No, I haven't.
No, I didn't think so. I have.
Have you?
Oh, yes. The amount of bare flesh I see, working for the St. John's, well, it'd be impossible not to be. But I can control myself. I know how to turn myself off.
And how to turn yourself on?
At the moment, it's just a zoo, but Gary Prince is going to turn it into the top theme park in this country. I've had these drawings done, artists' impressions of what it's going to be like. I'm going to get rid of all the cages, let the animals roam about the place, make it much more like it is in the wild.
It's a nice idea.
Then it'll be more fun shooting them. That's the theme, Dave. Big game world. It's going to be like going on safari. You pay your money to come in, we give you a gun, then you drive around the place and shoot whatever you want.
You can't do that.
Then, at the end, we total up the bill, and they pay again, depending on what they've shot.
I can see this working.
You what?
People pay a fortune to shoot pheasant or grouse.
Exactly. How much more are they going to pay if they can drive around the place and shoot lions or elephants?
Is this entirely serious?
Not all of it, no. Some of it will be quite humorous. Like there'll be fairground attractions for the kids, like with sea lions and shoot the balls off.
Oh, dear me.
Dave, the sea lions are trained to balance the balls in the noses, and the kids shoot them off.
Does Liesl know about this?
No, why should she?
Well, she'll go bananas when she finds out. You know how she feels about animals.
Dave, I don't have to seek Liesl's approval for everything I do.
This could be big.
It will be. Big game world.
We could have shops selling all the safari gear. And as well as souvenirs, you could have, you know, expensive trophies. God, then there's the restaurant potential. We could run it on a sort of pick-your-own-strawberries line. You kill it, we cook it.
Hey, nobody is going to kill anything.
Thank God for that.
Mark, if I let them kill all my animals, we'll be out of business in the first week. No, they're going to shoot them with paint. Do you fancy going away for a few days? Paris, Rome, Vienna? Anywhere you like.
Sounds nice.
Where would you like to go then, sweetheart?
Oh, heavens, I don't know. You choose somewhere. Surprise me.
Because you like surprises, don't you? I'll do that then. Because I like surprising you. Sorry, sugar, you're working, aren't you? Don't let me interrupt you. I don't want to interfere with your work. Because you never interfere with my work, eh?
It's all right. I was nearly finished. I was just translating this final section on memory loss. It's really interesting, actually.
Good.
Isn't the human brain a fascinating thing?
Mine is.
For example, have you ever wondered where your memories are stored?
Well, I know where they're stored. My scrapbooks are in a box upstairs. My press cuttings are with Dave in the office.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking generally about the physiology of the brain.
Right.
They've learned a lot about human memory from their studies of animal behavior.
Oh, yeah? I thought you didn't like that sort of thing, experiments on animals.
Well, they're not experiments. They're observing, studying. It's quite different. It doesn't involve cruelty.
I see. So what about David Attenborough?
What do you mean?
Like the stuff he does on TV. I mean, what concerns me is like he's out there observing, okay? And he sees this lion killing an antelope. Why doesn't he stop it?
Well, that would be quite wrong. It's nature, isn't it? It's the hunter and the hunted. It's the natural order of things.
Hey, you're right. Hunting, it's instinctive, isn't it? You know, all animals are hunters, including man.
Yes, but man is the only animal that hunts for fun.
Right. Apparently it's quite good fun. According to Mark.
I find that sort of thing utterly abhorrent. Killing animals just for your own amusement? It's disgusting, isn't it?
Ugh, yeah. Killing them, yeah. That's where I draw the line. I did actual killing them, yeah. So, there we go. We agree completely. That's that one sorted.
I'm not going to phone Kevin till he phones me.
Just let him sweat.
Well, he sweats anyway. I'm just not going to phone him. The trouble with Kevin is he's so stubborn. If he don't get his own way, he's really horrible.
Who's that, then?
Kevin, he's really horrible.
Have you only just noticed, Sonia? I tell you, you're well out of that one. When I first saw Kevin, I thought he was wearing a mask. Then I realised he should have been wearing a mask.
I think that's a little unkind, Mr. Prince. Everyone has their good side and their bad side.
Kevin hasn't. I've seen him from every angle.
Looks aren't everything. I were never bothered that he wasn't good looking.
No, it was his personality you didn't like, wasn't it?
I'm just not having Iron Maiden at my wedding. How can we get married after the row we've had?
Well, if you are incompatible, perhaps it's better to find out now. Look at poor Mr. Fitzherbert and his wife. They found out too late.
What? Does he like Iron Maiden?
But he married one. More of an ice maiden. The divorce was very acrimonious. It's left him a wounded, lonely man.
Is there anyone else in his life?
Not as such.
What do you mean?
Well, he carries a torch for someone.
Oh!
But she's a happily married woman.
Who is she?
I can't say.
You! What's he said?
Nothing, ever. But a woman knows these things. He's too much of a gentleman to say anything, and sometimes he has to ignore me. But I know.
Really?
Good morning, Mr. Fitzherbert. See what I mean?
Blimey!
About this interview for Woman's Own.
Yeah?
Well, they want to know, if you had £1,000...
What does it mean, if?
If you had £1,000 to spend on antiques, what would you buy?
Well, I wouldn't buy antiques for starters. I never buy anything second-hand.
Well, I've got to put something. They ask a famous person every week. It's good publicity.
Just put anything down, Dave. I've had a few thoughts about Big Game World.
Shall I put you fancy an Ormaloo clock?
Anything, I don't really mind. Just write anything down. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a big showbiz launch. Get all me mates down. With all the stars that I know. Dave, you've put a memo on me and Jimmy Hill. It looks like he's got a bag over his head. actually. Hey, there's a point. Princess Anne. She likes animals, horses and that.
What?
To open big game world, Princess Anne. Or better still, her dad. He's president of the World Wildlife Watcher. He likes animals, and he likes shooting them too. Great, book him.
You can't book the Duke of Edinburgh.
Dave, he'd do it for me. I'm practically a friend of the family.
I know what. I'll put you fancy a Chippendale.
No, you will not.
You know, I don't think people are going to go for this big game world thing of yours.
Of course they will, Dave. I got the idea from those war game things where people run around the countryside shooting one another with paint guns. Very popular. Appeals to all sorts of prats.
Mark does that.
As I say, all sorts of prats. Only in this case, we shoot the animals. Brilliant.
Not for the animals, it ain't. Have you told Liesl about it yet?
Dave, I don't interfere with Liesl's work, and she doesn't interfere with mine. As it happens, she's right behind me on this one. We're in complete agreement.
I thought she'd kill you when she found out.
No, she doesn't believe in killing. Anyway, it's just harmless entertainment. A spot of paint and a nice wash and brush up afterwards. Who could possibly object to that?
Thank you for printing it out for me, Beverly.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mrs. Prince. It's an interesting piece of research, isn't it?
Yes, psychology. It's fascinating.
Yes. I like the chapter where the man kept forgetting everything. I thought that was most amusing.
Really?
Yes, though when he said he couldn't remember if he was married or not. Well, a bit too convenient, if you ask me.
No, I think the patient had genuinely lost great areas of his long-term memory.
Well, so he said. But I bet you weren't taken in by a story like that, were you, Mrs. Prince?
The psychologists seem to believe it.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised at that. They'll believe anything. I've met one or two psychologists through my work with the St. John's, and quite frankly, they're balmier than their patients.
You think so?
I know so. A neighbour of mine has a little boy. A school refuser, they call him. He's just very naughty, won't go to school, deliberately makes himself ill.
It must be very difficult for the parents.
Oh, yes. They took him to see a child psychologist who was completely taken in, said it was psychosomatic. I mean, anybody with a bit of common sense could have told you it was all in the mind. What that little boy needs is a firm hand. That'd make him pull his socks up. I said as much to his mother.
I'm sure she was very grateful.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? But there we are. Anyway.
Oh, Beverly. Gary was saying that we might go on a little holiday. Has he asked you to book anything?
No, he hasn't mentioned it. Mind you, he's very preoccupied with all his plans for the zoo.
What zoo?
Oh, well, it's not exactly a zoo.
I know you do, Chuck. Yeah, I'm sorry too. I didn't mean any of it. No, I know you didn't. I miss you too. Yeah? Miss you. Kiss you. All right then, 7:30. Hug, hug. Snug, snug. Do you want me to bring a poultice? Are you sure? Okay then. Bye. I love you too. That were Kevin.
I thought it might be.
He phoned up and apologised. It's all on again.
Has he backed down over the music?
We're having both. Iron Maiden and the Wedding March at the same time.
That'll be dreadful.
Oh, no. No, it's all right. The Wedding March will be playing in the church, but Kevin will have Iron Maiden on his Walkman.
He can't have a Walkman in church.
Oh, no one will see, because he's going to pull his top hat right down over his ears to hide the headphones. I'm quite happy about it, actually, because his ears aren't his best feature.
Simply the best, da, 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 da. Better than all the rest, da, da, da.
You're very cheerful today.
Yeah, well, I'm busy. I'm always cheerful when I'm busy. Got loads on, big plans.
Yes, you never have small plans, do you, Gary?
I did once.
When?
The bonsai trees. I was going to fill 400 acres of Scotland with a forest of bonsai trees.
You always have to go one step further than everybody else, don't you?
Hey, you're right, Liesl. 2 steps if possible. It's the only way to succeed. If you want something doing, don't talk about it, do it. Do it now.
Why do you always want to be better than everybody else?
I don't want to be. I just am. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them.
Shakespeare.
No, I was talking about me, actually. You see, Liesl, in this world, you've got to believe in yourself. Otherwise, no one else will believe in you. It's like I believe in you. And you believe in me, don't you?
Sometimes, Gary, I don't know what to believe. I hear you've bought a zoo.
Yeah, I have, actually.
And you have great plans for it.
Well, you know me. Everything can be improved.
I'd really like to see it.
Well, I'll take you down there sometime.
No, let's go now. As you say, don't talk about it, do it.
Do it now.
Liesl, it's not going to be like an ordinary zoo. It's going to be more like a jungle. The animals are going to have loads of laughs. I'm not going to keep them in cages. There's going to be lots more room for them to run about the place, you know, chasing each other and being chased. I mean, the monkeys are already having a great time. There's one little fat one that just won't come in at night, you know? Look, I'm trying to recreate what you said, the natural order of things.
OK, Dumbo, make my day.
Hey, Mark! For God's sake, what are you doing? Flippin' heck.
So you managed to get yourself in the news again.
Certainly have.
I don't know how you do it.
It's because I think on me feet, Liesl. Here we go. It's a golden lion tambourine.
Tamarind.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very rare, endangered species.
So you must have been delighted when it gave birth to twins. How did you go about it?
Well, I can't actually take the credit for it. It wasn't down to me. It was another monkey. But no, seriously, Susan, breeding the golden lion thingy is a very complicated process, best left to the experts. Like me.
I've heard rumours there was a bang before it gave birth.
That's usually the way, Sue, yeah.
And I gather public interest has been enormous. You're expecting crowds to flock into the zoo this weekend.
That's right, yeah, but it's not a zoo, Sue. It's a conservation centre. The Liesl Prince Conservation Centre.
I stand corrected. This is Susan Hamilton with the endangered animals at the Liesl Prince Conservation Centre.
Clever little breeder, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose I am.
Eddie's in a panic. No alimony, no bolly. At 5 on BBC Two shortly. Here on BBC One in half an hour, comedy in Bloomin' Marvellous.
He's a winner, he's a star, he's a prince among men.